Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use, tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, you guys, I find this very interesting, especially toward the trolls. The Ledger, sister of Scientology leader, avoids drug charges. Isn't this interesting, you guys? Can you guys imagine she probably has some PTSD? They're talking about David Miscavige's twin sister. I'd like to know more about her, just for general information. Joe Childs and Curtis Kruger, Tampa Bay Times, July 9th, 2013. Largo, a plea deal, where have we heard that before, with Pinellas prosecutors has ended an awkward chapter for the Church of Scientology. Church of Scientology, troll. And its long crusade against drugs, allowing the twin sister of the church's worldwide leader to avoid a marijuana conviction. Money talks, money talks. St. Petersburg police arrested Denise Gentile. Is that name real, you guys? Gentile? In January on charges of DUI, possession of marijuana, and failure to yield. But after negotiations between her attorney and the Pinellas Pasco State Attorney's Office, she pleaded guilty this week to a reduced charge of reckless driving. She did not appear in court, and a formal finding of guilt will be withheld. Money talks, money talks. Gentile, 53 of Clearwater. Wonder what she was so upset about, that she's smoking marijuana and drinking while she's driving. Gentile, 53 of Clearwater, will be required to attend DUI school and pay $800 in court costs. Assistant State Attorney Frank Piazza said she also must receive an alcohol evaluation and attend a victims panel in which people discuss firsthand experience of the danger of drinking and driving. By the way, you guys, you do know David Miscavige and his twin sister, Gentile. You know, allegedly, their mother committed suicide, right? And it was really, really a weird. I'm not an investigator, I'm not a detective, but the way they were stating that the mother blasted her head off with they said it was a shotgun or something, and she was a very petite person, it wasn't adding up. Wonder what Rinder knew about that. Gentile was the subject of a recent Tampa Bay Times story that detailed her January 22nd arrest, as well as the chronic drug activity that took place at a St. Petersburg rental property owned by her husband. This is not adding up. It's almost like, it actually could happen organically, but it kind of sounds like a setup. You guys see what I'm talking about? The circumstances were at odds with the teachings of Scientology. Oh, what, like, children are adults in small bodies? Is that what you're talking about, Ledger? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, no, of course not. Which has spent millions vigorously campaigning against psychiatric and street drugs. Even though L. Ron Hubbard was a serious drug addict. You guys can go look it up. It's public record. You can't charge me with defamation when it's all the way on public record. Having reached one of the highest levels of spiritual awareness. Was she an OT8? If she was an OT8, that's when she learned it's all bullshit. Isn't it funny how many OT7s and OT8s have nervous breakdowns? Because they think of all those years and all that money they spent. 100% a scam. Where they learn they have to audit their thetans on their body. Kind of similar to like, I look at a thetan as a spirit, but it's kind of like, to me, it could be a thought form, which is in magic. What do they call that? I'm trying to think what that's called. Egregore or something like that. Which has spent millions vigorously campaigning against psychiatric and street drugs. Okay, sorry, I read that already. Having reached one of the highest levels of spiritual awareness, like OT7 or 8, I'm thinking, in the church, Denise Gentile would be expected to take an equally strong stand in her daily life. You believe they actually print this crap? Her defense attorney, Joanne Palchak, could not be reached. Of course not. Gentile's twin brother, David Miscavige, has been Scientology's leader since 1986. Yeah, that was a hostile takeover. I believe there's Charlie Igloo Alpha ties, 100%. The church does not discuss Miscavige's family. Oh, but we do, Davy. During a 2010 deposition in an unrelated lawsuit, Gentile indicated it was a Scientologist's duty to disconnect from anyone pushing drugs. However, the officer who pulled her over, yeah, wouldn't you like to know his name? Because you know they don't put his name in here for a reason, right? You know that, right? Reported seeing her leave a known drug house. And so the cop just happened to be there, right? Like, the police are just looking for super petty drug users, right? People that just want to get a little marijuana. Come on. Come on, you guys. However, okay, seeing her leave a known drug house minutes earlier. And by the way, you guys know how dangerous those places are? Cop was just sitting outside, right? Come on. The property at 620 15th Street North was where she routinely collected the rent. You see how they left a whole bunch out there? Did they like own that property where the drugs were being dealt? Wouldn't that be interesting? Of course, there's no mention of that, right? You guys know what I'm saying. The officer also searched Gentile's car. Did he have probable cause? Did he have probable cause? Inquiring MF minds want to know, did he have probable cause to search the vehicle? And found 9 cigars. Can you imagine this, you guys? Or blunts containing marijuana under the passenger seat. Isn't it legal in Florida now? I'll have to go look that up. The Times interviewed former tenants of the property who described heavy drug activity there. So they alluded that Gentile was collecting the rent? It sounds to me like she's still a Scientologist. Did Scientology own that building? I'm just asking questions. One said Gentile often accepted blunts as payment for water bills or used rent money to buy them. Sounds like she didn't have a whole lot of money, doesn't it? Your so-called twin brother is like, what, a billionaire because he's taking all the money? But she's got to, like, accept blunts as payment? Come on, you guys. Records show police raided the property in 2011 and 2010. When do you guys know of cops raiding a drug house for marijuana? Is this real, you guys? Finding marijuana, crack, and hand guns. Sounds like a setup to me, you guys. In a letter, the city warned Gerald Gentile. Could it be they wanted to leave Scientology? It just occurred to me. They probably want to leave Scientology. You see? The city, like Scientology. You guys know what I'm saying? Warned Gerald Gentile about the drug activity Denise Gentile called. Oh, I'm sorry. Warned Gerald Gentile about the drug activity. Come on, you guys. Is this real? Come on. Denise Gentile called and left the city a message about the letter. Records indicate, but didn't follow up. Yeah, isn't it funny how the cops are always losing records, but when it's convenient, they have them? But didn't follow up. Of course they didn't follow up. Palchak has said that Denise Gentile never received the letter, had no knowledge of drug activity at the property, and denies receiving contraband from anyone. This screams setup to me. Well, I imagine Denise Gentile knows a lot, wouldn't you guys? Piazza said a defense argument about the traffic stop figured significantly into how the case unfolded. The case. They really want us to believe this is a case, right? Gentile was stopped after she turned out of an alley onto 16th Street, allegedly turning too close to an ambulance. Oh, that's a good one. This became the probable cause. I was just asking about that gave the officer the right to pull her over. You know, the officer with no name, you guys. Cha-ching, ching, ching. But authorities obtained surveillance video. Oh, I wonder where they got that from. Don't you guys? Showing Gentile's car wasn't that close to the ambulance, after all, Piazza said. Huh. That was a problem for prosecution. Dang, I must be catching on a little here. Because removing the legal reason. Facts. Facts, you guys. Facts if you don't have probable cause. For stopping a car generally nullifies any evidence found as a result. Huh. Take that, Davy. In this case, the evidence included the 9 blunts. 9 whole blunts, you guys. Not 5, not 4, but 9. In her car. And breath tests that put Gentile's blood alcohol above the level at which Florida law presumes someone is too intoxicated to drive. And not like the cops in Clearwater haven't been busted doing that too, right? It's on public record. Public record. It's on public record. A defense motion on these points could have led a judge to throw out the evidence. Huh. What do you think about that, Davy? Destroying the prosecution's case. Though the DUI and marijuana possession charges no longer stand. Huh. The plea deal comes with consequences. Ooh, consequences, Davy. Piazza said, citing her guilty plea and her required attendance at DUI school. This way we were able to address her issues, he said. Who wouldn't have issues if they're in Scientology? Don't you guys wonder what happened to her when she was a child? I don't think David Miscavige had a very good childhood. I really don't. And I may read Ron Miscavige's book one day, but I don't trust him. He seemed like a nice guy, but look at how his child turned out. And there were rumors of how he treated his children. So I will leave a link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.